Today, I will talk about innovation in Eviny. My name is Kristin Flornes, and I work as an advisor in the innovation unit of Eviny. We just changed name from BKK. And in the innovation unit, we try to establish completely new businesses and new income streams. In the last part of the presentation, 3 students from University of Bergen will talk about the work they did during an internship in Eviny last fall. They will present themselves.
Hello, I'm Tiril, a student at the University of Bergen with at energy program, second year.
Hello, I'm Tobias, and I'm also a student at the University of Bergen and in the energy program, second year.
Hello, I'm Christian, and I also go to the same program, second year.
If you Google innovation for large firms, you quickly find articles about why established firms fail to innovate, or advice on how big companies can innovate like small startups. Big companies are usually very good at incremental innovation, improvements of current business, but it's very hard to prioritize new business that might or might not generate income in the future. Most established firms are focused on their current business model and current income streams. There are many examples of how newcomers disrupt markets and transform entire industries. So can a company with more than 100 years history do the same? I'll talk about how we innovate in Eviny, but first, some facts about us. Hydropower is the basis for our company. We produce about 7.5 terawatt hours a year. We have 1,400 employees, and Eviny is 100% owned by Statkraft and the Norwegian municipalities, and we have 38 hydropower plants. We just changed name from BKK to Eviny right before New Year's, and the grid operator will keep the BKK name. Electrification is one of the best tools to mitigate climate change if we use fossil-free electricity. By using renewable electricity to power our transports, industries, and buildings instead of coal, gas, and oil, we can decrease carbon emissions substantially. Right now, electrification is happening all over the world, and Norway is leading the transition. Eviny's strategy is to become Norway's leading electrifier and Norway's most sustainable corporation. Eviny will take a lead role in a transition towards an emission-free future, and we can only succeed if we keep the customers at the core of our development, and at the same time, we must secure profitable growth in our core portfolio. But how can we set up an organization to innovate and create new business? The mental balancing act of exploring new business opportunity at the same time as we work hard to exploit existing capabilities is very challenging. It's no surprise that few companies do it well. According to management research, one way to succeed is to organize in separate units, allowing very different key performance indicators, different processes, structures, and cultures of the 2 branches, but still maintain tight links across units at the senior executive level. In the management literature, this is called an ambidextrous organization, where you're equally good at taking care of existing business and exploring new areas. Eviny has organized to secure both our well-established businesses, the hydropower production, the grid operator, the district heating, the digital technology unit, the contracted business, in one branch, and there's constant incremental innovation in the well-established business units. So they are also doing innovation. But at the same time, we have an innovation unit where completely new businesses can thrive. The innovation unit is headed by Executive Director Ingrid von Steng-Belken, who is part of the top management team and reports directly to the CEO, Jannicke Hilland. This innovation unit was established back in 2016 with backing from top management and a long-term horizon. The start was a small dedicated team of internal and external talent, and the team had a just do it mindset and was set up with resources to scale new business if there is a sound business plan. The team and the culture are key to success. I joined the team in the innovation unit in April last year, and immediately I noticed some key characteristics of the culture. We have clear goals. There is an overarching strategy for the whole company, but clear goals for each unit are revised very frequently. There is support from the top management, including from the board of Eviny. Fear of failure will kill innovation. We know that 90% of our ideas will not be new business, or maybe more than 90%. So we need to identify the bad ideas fast. And we also try to have absence of unnecessary bureaucracy. Of course, it's really difficult in a large organization, but if we are going to compete with startups, we need to move fast. In December, the team I was working with got top management support for a possible new business opportunity within a week. Of course, we are still working on the business plans and to get the final investment decision, but at least we got backing to start working on this opportunity. And there is a very supportive and collaborative environment, and we are all on the same mission to cut emissions and mitigate climate change. So how do we work with innovation? This is our funnel or innovation process that we show here. The process has 3 main steps. 1 is to identify new business opportunities. 2 is to create new business, and 3 is to scale. And for each step, we increase the time spent and the resources invested. We start by gathering ideas, and we have different creative processes to create ideas. But is a good idea necessarily a business opportunity for Eviny? The next step is called ideate, and this is all about business opportunities. What is the product service? Who are the potential customers? Why should we do this? Or can others do this better? What is the strategic relevance for Eviny? A small team works concentrated during a limited amount of time. And if we believe that there is a business opportunity for us, we go to the next phase and test the concept. We do this by setting up some initial hypotheses and about the market, and then we talk to potential customers. The test concept is a 30-hour fast track, and the students will explain what they did when they tested a concept of charging infrastructure for recreational electric boats at the end of the talk. If our initial hypothesis is not killed by feedback from the market, then we validate the concept by more detailed market analysis, identification on competitors, the business case, product development plan, possible partnerships, and then go to market strategy. An investment decision is made if the management approves. And since I started last April, I've been part of different teams that have established 1 new startup, and we are in the process of possibly starting 1 more. We are constantly developing and improving the way we work, and it's very exciting. Some of the new business areas Eviny has established are fast charging for electric cars, plug shore power, and mobile energy. Eviny has charging stations all over the country. When we established the charging station at Danmarksplads back in 2015, it was the world's largest. This was established before the innovation unit was a separate unit, so it was a very challenging journey led by some key individuals who saw the business opportunity and seized it. Eviny has also established plug shore power to power ships in ports so they can turn off their engines and reduce both air pollution and noise. Plug has built Europe's largest shore power facility in Bergen and have shore power in several ports along the coast. Mobile energy is a battery storage system for emission-free construction sites. That was established as a result of a hackathon we had back in 2019, where the idea was born. As construction industries drop combustion fuel technologies and make the switch to electric solutions, a clear need arises for temporary on-site battery energy storage. Enabling zero-emission construction, Eviny recently deployed a mobile system from Northvolt to show how a battery system opens the door to cutting out the oil. You might have seen the construction site in Nygårdsparken with the large mobile batteries from Eviny, and where the Eviny battery pack powers the 26-ton excavator and a small tractor. We believe that the future is renewable, electric and digital, and we see that there are large opportunities in digital platforms that can be used across the units. So now we are exploring many new opportunities within digital platforms and digital solutions to power our businesses across the different new units. So now Tiril and Tobias and Kristin will explain how they tested a new possible business area for Eviny. We have plug shore power, as I have just explained, but we wanted to know if there is a market for charging infrastructure for recreational boating. So the floor is yours, Tobias, Kristin, and Tiril.
So the procedure. First, we had to make several hypotheses, which were based upon our initial thoughts and expectations of the market. We tried to be realistic, but we really did not know much about the market after all. The next step was contacting the market, and we did this mainly by phone, and on the phone we asked some pre-agreed on questions that we had written down beforehand. During our phone calls, we noted down their answers and other useful information they could give. We were told to listen out for quotes, which could tell a lot about their attitude towards the concept we were asking around. At the end, we presented our findings for the people at Eviny, and we made all our notes and documents available to them so that someone can pick up the thread in the future.
The case we worked on was if it's profitable for Eviny to invest in charging stations for recreational boats. We started with making 4 hypotheses that we wanted to test and see if we could get an answer to. 2 of the hypotheses were because of e-boats, the marinas will need charging stations, both fast charging for day guests and slow charging for the regular tenants. The other hypothesis was that by expanding the charging capabilities for recreational boats, more people will find it easier to buy and own an e-boat. To get an answer to our hypotheses, we contacted different clients and organizations that could be interested in having an opinion on the field. We contacted some harbor masters, the municipalities in Bergen, Oslo and Stavanger, some marinas around the country, and different pilot experiments.
We also did some calculations to see how profitable this investment will be for Eviny. And as science students, we had to try and make some business models, which we had not done before. This was an interesting task and way out of our expertise, but with good help from Kristin and Trude, we managed to come up with some useful results. We also looked at risks regarding this project. For example, usage of the charging stations. There are still quite few boat owners who has an electric boat, which means there are few charging stations. But people don't want to buy an electric boat before they know where they can charge it. This is a very typical chicken or the egg dilemma, because businesses don't want to invest in charging stations before there are boats to use them, and people don't want to buy an electric boat before they have charging stations to charge their boat with. This also relates to the immatureness of the market and the dilemma plug shore power has. If we are to compare boats with cars, boats get replaced less often than cars, putting another barrier on rapid change in the market. At the end of this innovation funnel, we presented our findings to plug shore power. The hypotheses, what the people we had contacted said, possible business models, and at the end, what we saw as pros and cons with this possible investment. It was quite fun to observe the discussion after, because suddenly we, the students, were the pros who knew something plug shore powers did not know. We also wanted to share some of our personal experiences with the innovation funnel at Eviny. It was quite interesting how fast it was possible to get answers from the interviewees when we called, even though we were students and it was very obvious our questions were written in advance. On the other side, it was very frustrating and a bit funny when I, on the 10th phone number to the municipality of Bergen, still got sent to a new person who maybe know something about this. And I also found our findings to some degree surprising, because we made some hypotheses in the beginning, exploring different possible scenarios. And for every call, the interviewee always seemed to agree with one of our hypotheses, quite interestingly. So we had to be very aware of our subjective biases, which was a good exercise in itself.
We also experienced that the different people we talked to had a lot of different opinions of the field and had a lot to contribute with and were interested in helping us.
The good thing we noticed was the honesty. Some of the people we talked to were really not happy with the authorities and did not hold back in what they thought of them. We got a quote that said, the green shift will not happen as long as the authorities doesn't approve of our plans to make a greener electric marina, and they are the ones who are lagging behind. So it was really great to actually hear some real thoughts and not just that they supported the good cause, you may say.
Yeah, so this concludes our presentation, and the work done by the student was a really, really important part of our innovation funnel to contact the market and find out if there are potential customers. We try to do this as early as possible in the funnel so that we don't spend a lot of time investigating possible solutions that nobody is interested in. We need to have customers and buyers, so that was very, very helpful, and we will use the results from the work of the students in our further business development. So thank you very much. We are done with our presentation and ready for questions.